From the moment the news broke that Norlite LLC had tried to incinerate 2.5 million pounds of highly toxic AFFF firefighting foam filled with carcinogenic PFAS chemicals, despite the presence of a permanent DEC on-site monitor, the question arose, when did the DEC know? Was it when Norlite signed a secret contract with the Department of Defense in 2017? Was it when the burning occurred in 2018 and 2019? Or was it at the end of 2019, after the incineration, as DEC informed many news agencies in the spring of 2020? Today, February 10th, 2021, we are closer to an answer, as you'll hear in a moment. The Cuomo administration has left many clues that something wasn't right. First, just as it had in Hoosick Falls in 2016, the Department of Health turned a deaf ear to calls by area doctors to test the blood of residents of Saratoga sites and the neighborhoods around Norlite. These residents remain untested to this day. Second, when in early June, the legislature unanimously passed a bill banning incineration of PFAS at Norlite, Governor Cuomo kept the bill off of his desk for more than 5 months. And then, on November 9th, a story broke that Cuomo was trying to gut the ban bill. That news may have pressured Cuomo into signing the bill on November 24th, but it also provided a hint that the DEC was hiding something bigger. The story included the first statements by Joe Hattersbeck, the DEC's permanent on-site monitor at Norlite. Hattersbeck stated, in so many words, that he had not only known about PFAS incineration at Norlite, he had supported it. Hattersbeck's statements also suggested he has almost no scientific training or background and was not qualified for his position. These are all things that made it into print before today. But here are 2 things you didn't know. First, on November 8th, 2020, the day before the ban bill story, DEC Commissioner Basil Sagos and his Chief of Staff, Sean Mahar, made at least 2 preemptive calls, one to Joe Ritchie of Saratoga Sites, which you'll hear in a second, and another to Judith Enck, former regional EPA administrator. Sagos and Mahar had learned about the story in advance and were trying to do damage control.
The monitor at the Norlite facility has now made statements that he was aware prior to 2019 that the facility was processing firefighting foam, but never alerted anyone in the department at that time or subsequent to that, or subsequent to this week, that he was aware of that. So again, part of our openness and commitment to you to be transparent, we wanted to let you know as soon as we learned this information and let you know that obviously this is not something that we're taking lightly. We can't comment too further because it's an ongoing personnel matter now, and but rest assured you can know that we're obviously not happy with what we've now learned and are taking immediate action to address this, and it's not a mistake that we're taking lightly at all.
Yeah, and I just want to make clear, sure, junior staff, you made a mistake, didn't tell anybody until 2020, but that doesn't mean the buck doesn't stop with me. It's my agency. I run it well and closely, and it should have been dealt with differently. So we're going to fix the issue with the monitor and ultimately put some corrective actions in place. And this kind of thing isn't going to happen again. But we wanted to make sure you heard from us directly, and we own it, and we're going to fix it.
This recording shows that Sagos and Mahar tried to paint Hattersbeck as a lone wolf, and they stated again that no one at the DEC knew about the incineration until 2020. But thanks to a FOIL request, we have copies of emails that tell a different story. Though the longest of the 4 emails in this thread was completely redacted, these emails still clearly show that then Region 4 Director Keith Gertz, handpicked for the job in 2014, was fully aware of and participating in the PFAS incineration at Norlite by March of 2019. These emails also show that Victoria Schmidt, Region 4 Materials Management Engineer, knew about the PFAS incineration, and that Gertz was in direct communication with Prince Knight, the Environmental and Regulatory Compliance Manager of Tredebi, and also with Sergio, who is almost definitely Sergio Nusimovich, president and COO of Turdebe USA. All of this throws DEC's most recent actions into question. In January, the DEC downplayed a hazardous waste fire at Norlite, even though Norlite has no valid permit to operate at this time. The DEC also immediately challenged and discarded studies done by Dr. David Walker, a noted geologist from Columbia University, who showed that Norlite's aggregate product, which is a known cause of silicosis, was blowing into the Saratoga site's housing complex and endangering human life, and that it has been that way for the last 40 years. And finally, DEC has yet to release any of their findings of their study of PFAS contamination around Norlite, despite the fact that the tests take only weeks to complete and the study began in October of 2020.